basic quality of the soul is to be worry-free, is to be carefree. But we have acquired this sanskar of worry since copper age because we became body conscious. And now when we understand the truth, when we connect our minds and intellects with Baba, who is the ocean of knowledge, and Baba says, I give you platefuls of jewels of knowledge, and when we start imbibing them, then we also begin to become worry-free. How many of you have become free from worry? Absolutely free from worry. Just think about it. And if you have not become, that means there is still some knowledge to imbibe. And we'll just go through some points of knowledge which we need to imbibe in order to do away with worry. First point of knowledge is, I am not responsible for anybody's emotions and nobody is responsible for my emotions. Or I am not, so you see, sometimes or in fact all the time in the body conscious world, you blame yourself for how other people are or situations are. And you blame others for your conditions and your emotions. Yes, we do that. We've been doing that in the body conscious world. But Baba tells us that every soul is responsible for their conditions and their emotions. Yes, so when we imbibe this, we understand that when we worry, why do we worry? Because something is not in our control. But when we understand that my conditions, my destiny, my emotions are all in my control, and I am not to be blamed for anybody's conditions or emotions, then I understand that I do not have to worry about everything because it is all in my control. I can only take care of my emotions, my karma, my destiny, and that is absolutely in my control, so there is no need to worry. And I will tell you one thing, when do you worry? Whenever there is an unfavorable condition that makes you worry, right? But I think, if we understand the secret that whenever something unfavorable is coming up and you feel that it is causing pain to you, then you must understand that the mechanism of pain is a very good mechanism, because the mechanism of pain directs your attention to where you need to change. Yes, just imagine a world where you don't feel any pain. You don't feel there is something wrong outside, inside, but you don't have the capacity to feel pain. Just imagine a person who cannot experience physical pain. Is that a good idea? It's not a good idea, because that person will die of some wound or some disease that's there, because the pain makes you pay attention to what you need to change or where you need to work on. But if we start worrying about the pain and we start thinking that pain is not a good thing, then what happens is we are not understanding the purpose of the pain. So the purpose of the pain is to direct your attention to where you need to change. So if there is physical pain, there is emotional pain, there is financial pain, there is social pain, any kind of pain that you're experiencing, or legal pain, yes? So there are there are some things you get caught up in legal troubles, or there is some financial trouble, or there's some trouble with relationships, or some trouble with the body, or some trouble with the mind. So there is mental pain you feel, or the emotional pain you feel. Then that pain is actually making you very aware of what and where you need to change. But instead of understanding the purpose of pain, in body consciousness, we start to worry about the pain. And Baba says that the cause of your pain is not somebody else. The cause of your pain is your own karma, whether it is the karma of thoughts, feelings, attitudes, or actions. So any karma that you're doing is the cause of your pain. And this is very good news when you understand that the cause of my pain is myself, and I have full authority and full discretion, to overcome that pain. I have the full capacity and power to overcome that pain. Then you become worry free, because when you know that you are so powerful that any kind of pain is just signaling you where to change, and when you bring about that change, then that pain will go away. Then you stop worrying about any kind of discomfort or pain that's coming, and you start embracing the pain and talking to it and asking it what you need to change. And the beautiful thing about Sangam Yoga is, in this Sangam Yoga, in this confluence age, we are sitting with Baba, and we children of Baba, we have accurate understanding, and we have all the solutions of how to shift the pain or how to finish the pain. So Baba says that this is why you should be absolutely worry free. So even if something comes, the beautiful thing is we knowledgeful souls understand the cause, and we also know the solution, so we will just change it. And let's take simple examples. So there is this one brother, and he was telling me that the staff in my office, they are cheating me, and I'm not able to deal with that, and my business is not doing well. So I told him that now that you know that your staff is cheating you, what is the main reason why they are cheating you? So he said that I reach office at 1, they reach at 10, so they have a lot of time to be together and connive against me. So I said, why do you reach at 1? So he said that I wake up at 10, and so I reach at 1. So I said that, so you see, there is such a simple solution to your problem. You wake up at 6, you reach at 10, and you take care of the office, and he said, because the relationships have been bad for many years, so I have shouted and screamed at almost every employee, and now they are very against me. So I told him, in that case, you need to change your behavior towards them and be loveful and be respectful towards them. Then he said, is that possible? It is not possible. So I said, you just think about it, think about what you're talking. Is it not possible to change your lifestyle and change your attitude? If that is not possible, then nothing is possible. So this is the easiest thing that you can do, because this is completely in your hands. So Baba tells us that, and in the world, when we talk about these kind of changes, people think it's a very big thing to do. But when we understand Baba, and we understand Raj Yoga, and we understand how Baba is helping us with daily study, and how Baba is helping us when we have yoga with Baba, and how Baba is hand holding us when we follow Srimad, so we understand that any change is not difficult. And every Brahmin, you see, we have seen changes in our sanskars, in our lifestyle, and we have been able to incorporate the change that people thought is very difficult in life. But Baba says that now that you belong to me and you understand that everything that's happening out there, the key lies within you. And once you start to operate that key, then you can take charge of everything out there. And of course, not according to your expectations, but according to whatever is possible in the drama. So sometimes you may want something, to pan out like something, concrete. You have an idea, and maybe that whole idea cannot be materialized, but you can do the best that's possible in the drama without worrying, and just by taking charge of knowing the knowledge and the yoga power and the whatever gifts Baba is giving us. When we take charge of our life by using those gifts, then you can deal with anything that's causing you worry. So Baba says that when do you worry? When something that you are facing, you think that's more powerful or that is beyond you, then you start to worry. But when you are with Baba, you understand that when I use the power of purity, the power of knowledge, the power of yoga, then I am bigger than anything that I am facing. So you stop worrying. So this is first thing that makes us worry free. Second is the knowledge of, so in this point, I have not emphasized enough, but there is also this point that you are with the Almighty right now. And the song that we sing, ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है. So Baba says that when you are faced with something that's causing you worry, then you understand that I am with Baba, and with Baba I am much more powerful than anything I am facing. And when you have this deep dharana within you, then you stop worrying and start doing what you can with Baba. And then the second aspect that Baba teaches us is the point of drama. And Baba says that, and you see that the drama is fixed. So in the drama, the past was fixed, the future is fixed. And what is in your hand? The present, the now, the 1 second. And what you do in the present second has a bearing on your future and also on how much burden of the past you will carry or shed. So the power of this present second is lost when you worry. So if you spend the present second worrying, then you have lost the only power you have. So when we understand the drama, we understand that there is no point worrying over spilt milk. So whatever has happened has already happened. So there is no point worrying about it because that is now fixed in the drama. You know that the future also, whatever has to happen will happen. But in the present moment, I have to do karma. And this is my only chance to contribute. So, the future is fixed, the past is fixed, but whatever I do in the present is in my hands. That's a choice. And when you understand this power of now, then you understand that worrying takes away that power of now from you. And worrying wastes that 1 second that you have second by second at your disposal. So when you understand the drama, you let go of the past, you let go of the worry of the future, and you just focus on the now. What is best that I can do? And this present also is in some way fixed, correct? So this is also, you will do what you did last kalpa. But the thing is, you will have to sit in silence and think about what you did last kalpa and do your best in this present moment, because in this present moment also you will act according to your destiny, but nevertheless you have to act. So just focus on your acting and focus on what action you have to perform at this moment, because of course it is according to your predestined drama that you will perform the action, but the thing is you have to perform it right now. Although it is the repetition of the last cycle, you will have to actively do it right now. When you look at it in hindsight, it is of course the repetition of the drama, but in the present moment you will have to make a decision and act on it. And Baba says that every second by second you understand that I have to do what I did last kalpa, and I have to reach the future that is destined for me, and I do not have to worry about the past and the future. And even in the present, I don't have to worry about what to do, because that blueprint is already there in me, and I have to just do what makes the best sense to me. So when you start operating in this manner, then you become worry free and absolutely contribute to your drama in the best possible way. So in silence and in a state of carefree nature, when you perform your present action, it takes you to the best of your predestined drama. So this is what Baba teaches us, and personally I will tell you that I have imbibed this knowledge of the drama, and I never think about what happened, because sometimes people go into, if this had not happened in my life, then this wouldn't be happening. Or there was this one sister and she told me that ever since I came into Gyan, I met many obstacles, and if those obstacles had not been there, then I would have become a dadi by now. So she said that I would be in a very good position in Gyan if those obstacles had not been there. So I said, what makes you think that you could have been a dadi by now if you have not imbibed the basic course that the drama is prefixed and you do not question what happened? So the first thing that you had to imbibe, which is whatever happened happens every cycle, and there is no point thinking about if this had not happened, because that's not a possibility. It happens every cycle. So if you're still lingering on if this had not happened, then you have not imbibed the basic course itself. The knowledge of the drama. Then what makes you think you could be very elevated in Gyan? So this is why I never worry about the past. Whatever happened, I never think if this had not happened, then I would be here. So there is no thought about the past, and I know that the future is prefixed. So I never think about what is going to happen, because whatever happened last time is going to happen. And I only understand that right now I am in the most auspicious, most powerful phase of my whole journey, where I am with Baba. I am the master ocean of knowledge. I am the master ocean of power. I am the master ocean of love and purity and peace and joy. So let me just act like myself in the present moment. So let me be aware of this present moment, that in this present moment I am not ordinary. I am very, very powerful. I am very, very full of virtues and knowledge, and let me act as a knowledgeful, powerful and virtuous soul. And suppose in the next second I feel that I could have done better in the last second. I just dropped that thought because again that second was fixed. So in the next second, I again think about what I have to do right now. So this keeps you very worry free. So Baba says, I never worry. And Baba also tells us that, sometimes children, they behave very unexpectedly. So let's say somebody takes Palna for 10 years and then they suddenly stop coming to class, they suddenly stop listening to knowledge, or they suddenly leave Baba. But Baba doesn't worry in all of this because Baba knows that just like you are the master of your own destiny, you have no control over anybody's destiny. These two things go hand in hand. You are the master of your own destiny. You have absolute control over your own destiny. But you have absolutely no control over anybody else's destiny. So when you understand that, you don't take it personally and you don't start creating thoughts of why and where is it that I made a mistake and this and that. When you start taking anybody's actions personally, then you start worrying and you start getting desperate about, what could I have done better, or what is my fault in this. But if you look at it, you must check what is your mistake, but for yourself, not for them. Not because they left, not because they didn't respond, but for your own growth and development. If there is any pain that you're feeling, then you have to check and change that pain for yourself. You don't have to do it because they left or because something happened. So you have to think about these things, and when you don't take it personally, you don't worry ever. And in my experience, I have, because you see, this dharana also happens very gradually. So when I was new in Gyan, what used to happen is I used to start thinking about why somebody behaved so abruptly, and I used to start fretting about what I did wrong in this whole scenario. But slowly, gradually, with experience also, I learned that people are doing what they are doing not because of you, but because of themselves. And it is very difficult and almost impossible to predict human behavior. And it is absolutely impossible to control human behavior, because it comes from such 63 births of huge baggage that you cannot really put a finger on why they are doing this at this moment. Just like, your own actions, you understand there's so much baggage of sanskars that sometimes abruptly you're behaving in a certain way which has no explanation from the present moment. Similarly, everybody around you is also doing the same. So don't try to analyze, don't try to understand. Just understand that this is their part in the drama and they can behave the way they want. And for self progress, you keep checking yourself, and that has got nothing to do with people behaving according to your expectations or not. Sometimes maybe, everything is happening very correct out there, but maybe there's something wrong within, and you still need to check that, not only in the context of something going wrong out there, but even when things are right out there, checking yourself, changing yourself has to be your own personal engagement every day. So don't check and change yourself in the light of the situation or somebody's behavior, but check and change yourself in the light of knowledge that Baba gives us every day. So this makes us very worry free. And then Baba today says that I am not Jani Jananhar. I do not know anything. And you know why? I always thought, why does Baba say, I don't know anything and I can't read anything, and I do not read your mind, and but Baba can, right? So can't Baba know your heart or know your mind? Baba can. But still, he keeps telling us in the Murli, I'm not Jani Jananhar. I do not know what goes inside you. I do not know how to read your mind. Why does Baba say that? So I thought very deeply about it. And there was this one particular incident which made me think about it very deeply. So there was this one Kumar who used to come to the center, and he made a mistake. And when he made a mistake, I asked him, why did you not admit that mistake to me, and why did you keep hiding it? So he said, you are Baba's instrument and you anyways know everything, so there is no need to tell you. So you anyways figure out everything, and I thought that you already know, so I didn't tell you. So I understood that, children, because children are under the influence of Maya makes children, avoid responsibility in this manner. And children do not want to own up their mistakes. They do not want to even be honest about their own actions, and they take this as an excuse that already Baba knows everything, so what to tell Baba? And I'm telling you very frankly that he did that to me directly, not even to Baba. He said, you are Baba's instrument, so you should know everything, and what is the need to tell you? So that left me thinking about, it's so important that Baba keeps telling that I don't know anything and I don't read your mind. Why? Because if children go about doing this, then where is honesty and where is checking yourself and giving an honest chart to Baba? So Baba says, don't ever think that I am reading your mind, because if I read your mind, you're not going to benefit. When you read your mind, when you see what's going on within you, when you check, when you change, when you realize, that's when change is going to happen. And sometimes, this great excuse we take that Baba already knows everything, so Baba will do whatever is necessary. No, it's not Baba's job to do what's necessary and change you. It's your job to check yourself and change yourself. Baba is giving us enough light of knowledge. And it is we who have to take that light of knowledge, check ourselves, be honest with Baba, take Baba's directions and change ourselves. And not use this as a, this as a cunning move to avoid responsibility. And then today Baba also talks about, children are directed to be benefactors like Baba. Yes, so Baba says, just like I am the benefactor, I ask you to also be master benefactors, Kalyankari children. But Baba says that in being Kalyankari, you also have to be a little careful, because sometimes children go to do Kalyan, but instead they are pulled into the quagmire of vices by Maya. And if you remember yesterday's Murli, Baba, in the signs of being a eligible Brahmin, Baba said this sixth point, that a good Brahmin should have no ghosts within. You should have worked on yourself and there should be no vices within. Because when Baba says a responsible Brahmin, A responsible Brahmin is somebody who takes up the responsibility of seva. And in seva, you meet many souls, you come in contact with many sanskars, and you also come into contact with many situations. And if you have not worked well on your vices, then what happens is those vices which are lurking inside, which are not finished, because you don't realize your vices. Yes, so there is this ego mechanism in us which has been telling us that, okay, I have problems, but who doesn't have? Okay, I have vices, but who doesn't have? And then you don't realize how much of the baggage of vices do you have. And then what happens is, because you don't realize it, because you're always justifying them, and because you don't understand that your vices are continuously making you do pap karma, and because there is this wall of ego against which you are hiding your real vicious self. So, or not the real, but the acquired vicious self, you are hiding it against this wall and you're not doing anything about it. If you keep doing this, then what happens is, apparently you look like a sweet speaking, white dressing, pure BK. But inside you're not that. And then when you go on the field of seva, and then many kinds of papers come, you interact with so many sanskars, and then those vices keep coming up. Sometimes you will have an attack of lust, sometimes you will have an attack of anger, sometimes ego, sometimes attachment. And when you keep doing that, then what happens is, instead of seva being a stepping stone to punya karma, it becomes on the contrary, you start falling and you start degrading yourself while being in seva. So Baba says that it's very important to check yourself, change yourself, don't justify your vices. As such, we become aware of our vices very rarely. So only when they show up, you become aware of them. So when your vices show up, don't try to blame others for that or the situation for that. Claim responsibility for your vices. And when they are showing up, don't try to justify them. Try to become aware that this is inside me which is showing up. And nothing that is not within you can get triggered. Yes, so I always give the example of, this one person applying pressure on orange and lemon. And orange gives sweet juice and lemon gives sour juice. Why? Because that is what is contained inside. So you also have to understand that when there is a trigger, when there is pressure, what's coming out is actually contained inside you. It's not because of the pressure that it's created. It's already there. It's lurking inside. But when the pressure comes, it is coming out. So all those sanskars that you have inside, don't try to hide them under the blame game canopy, or don't try to just push them under the carpet by saying, oh, this is not frequently happening, this is just happening today because there was this situation. Or don't try to justify them by saying that anybody who would be in this situation would behave like this. So just try to see what's inside you, because anyways it shows up very rarely. So try to check and change, because otherwise what will happen is, when you come into seva, and in seva you meet many situations, you meet many sanskars, and all those vices will come up, and instead of progressing, you will be caught up in that in that hole of big Maya standing there and pulling you down that hole and finishing your journey. So this is something that Baba is talking about. Om Shanti.